One day, Jesus went with his disciples to Gethsemane.
Stay here and keep watch with me. Pray until I return.
After speaking to his disciples, Jesus went a little further, fell with his face to the ground, and prayed.
My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will.
While Jesus prayed, an angel from heaven appeared to him and strengthened him. Then Jesus rose from prayer and returned to his disciples who were sleeping. Jesus spoke to them.
Could you not keep watch with me for 1 hour? Watch and pray, so that you will not fall into temptation.
Not long after Jesus had finished praying, Judas, one of the 12 disciples, approached him with a group of soldiers carrying swords. Judas had approached the chief priests and the officers of the temple guard and had agreed to betray Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Judas spoke to the soldiers.
The man that I kiss is Jesus.
Judas kissed Jesus, and at once the soldiers arrested Jesus. Jesus was questioned by the high priest.
Do you say you're the Son of God?
I am the Son of God. I will die and rise again, and you will see me sitting at the right hand of God and coming on the clouds of heaven.
The high priest shouted in anger.
How dare you blaspheme against God? You shall be punished.
In the end, the high priest and the leaders of the Israelites decided to condemn Jesus to death. The people spat at him and mocked and beat him. The next morning, the chief priests, with the elders, the teachers of the law, and the whole Sanhedrin, bound Jesus and handed him over to Pilate. They testified falsely against Jesus, but he did not say anything. However, Pilate knew Jesus was innocent. In those days, it was customary to release one prisoner during the Passover festival. So Pilate asked the people,
Who do you want me to release, Barabbas or Jesus?
Barabbas! Barabbas! Release Barabbas!
Barabbas had been imprisoned for murder. The crowd all shouted for Barabbas to be released. Pilate was afraid that a riot would break out.
As you wish, but I am innocent of this man's blood. You shall bear the responsibility.
Finally, Pilate released Barabbas and handed Jesus over to be beaten and crucified. The soldiers put a scarlet robe on Jesus, then twisted together a crown of thorns and set it on his head. They put a staff in his right hand, then knelt in front of him and mocked him.
Hail, King of the Jews!
Then the soldiers took off the scarlet robe and put his own clothes on him and led him to the place he would be crucified. Jesus carried his cross to Golgotha, but the cross was too heavy and Jesus fell under the weight of it.
Get up, now! Don't you dare stop!
A certain man from Cyrene, Simon, was passing by, and the soldiers forced him to carry the cross. Jesus finally reached Golgotha. The soldiers stripped him of his clothes, then crucified him by nailing his hands and feet to the cross. The soldiers divided up his clothes and cast lots to see what each would get. At the top of the cross was a written notice of the charge against Jesus, which read, "The King of Jews." Jesus spoke through the pain.
Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing.
Then darkness came over the whole land. Jesus suddenly cried out in a loud voice,
My God, why have you forsaken me?
Jesus knew that his time on earth had come to an end. Quietly, he spoke his last words.
It is finished.
With that, Jesus bowed his head and gave up his spirit, and at that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. The earth shook, the rocks split, and the tombs broke open. Jesus, the Son of God, died for the sins of the world.